go ahead for the defense and give me some fundamentals about what's going on with the case.
So, Your Honor, this case was assigned to us back around February of this year, and she has two separate cases that are pending currently, burglary and forgery in the fourth. And Your Honor, she has actually been in since, I want to say it was around September of last year. She did let me know that she was going into her 9th month of incarceration. And she had already received a bond initially on the first case. However, she was picked back up on the second case, and I'm not sure why bond was not filed for by previous counsel already. But once we picked up the case, we knew that we needed to file for bond in this case. Looking at her criminal history, I do not believe that she would be at risk for committing any other felonies during the pending case against her before it goes to trial. She is actually going to be able to stay with her daughter in Noonan, who is actually in college I want to say she's a criminal justice major right now. So she'll have a good influence from her daughter there. We'll be able to stay there, have a very good environment to stay during the pendency of this proceeding. And we'll leave it up to the judge's discretion as to the bond amount. I know that Miss Olko, she has been homeless most recently when she was out before, but her daughter has stepped up to the plate and will be able to provide her with a home there in Noonan for her to stay at.
Okay, go ahead for the state.
Yes, thank you, Judge. Your Honor, Ms. Oko is charged with burglary in the first degree in one of her cases, and then also the forgery in the fourth degree, Judge. And the reason that we're opposing bond is, one, if you look at Ms. Oko's criminal history, she does have a criminal history out of Alabama that we are concerned about. Additionally, Judge, it's our understanding that she committed one of these offenses while she was out on bond for the other of these offenses. Additionally, Judge, the facts of this case is that she broke into a veteran's home who is wheelchair bound while he was away. And the reason that she was able to do that successfully is because she knew that he was away, Judge. She took his entire life savings. And this man is terrified because she brought strangers into his home, and he's concerned about his safety. And we're concerned that if she were to get out on bond, that not only is she likely to commit another offense, given her past criminal history, Judge, but also that she could, along with her co-defendants, potentially threaten our victim in this case, Judge. He's adamantly opposed, and if I could have had him up here, I would, but given his wheelchair status, Judge, it's hard to for him to travel. But he is adamantly opposed, and he's frankly terrified. I actually, when I went out to his home, Judge, he's now gotten Rottweilers there at his house to protect him after these events. And he's absolutely terrified. He does not sleep because of this. And if she were to get a bond, I truly believe she would be a threat to him. Additionally, her other victims, Judge, were also elderly people. And so, Your Honor, Ms. Oko has a history of taking advantage of older people in our community. And it's my opinion, Judge, that if she were to get out on bond, on any type of bond, that she would continue to be a danger to those people in this community.
Okay, the court's going to set a bond of $7,000 in this case. Going to require that she live with her daughter in Coweta County, and I'm going to require that she not come into TROUP County for any purpose other than taking care of her legal business.
Your Honor, the state would ask that you also require her to wear an ankle monitor as well.
And Your Honor, due to her limited financial resources, I know the family has put together as many resources as they can to meet a potential bond should you grant it, which we thank Your Honor for that. I do not believe that the financial burden that a ankle monitor would impose upon her would be in the best interest of justice here. I think it would be an undue burden upon her, as she has been homeless before all of this occurred.
Okay, I'll decline that request. $7,000, require that she live with her daughter in Coweta County, require that she not come into Troup County for any purpose other than taking care of legal business, require that she not have any contact, direct or indirect, with anybody, any alleged victims in this case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, may I be excused?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day.
You too. Okay, so I've marked off case number 2, which was the same defendant. Case number 3, I have down as a consent has occurred with case number 3.
Yes, Judge, that's correct. I just wanted to be present to make sure you knew that, Judge.
Okay. Case number 4 is Gerald Harmon. We're going to hold that case for last.
Okay.
Case number 5, we've marked that one off.
It was a consent to $20,000 bond, Judge.
Okay. And case number 6 is Rashad Browner.
Right,
That is
we're
a
gonna try to get
motion for
Mr.
bond.
Johnson up here next.
I didn't quite hear you from the jail. Tell me again, please.
Mr. Johnson, he will be next. Gilbert Vogel Johnson.
We have a consent on that, I think. I don't think we need to do any business with him. I think we've got a consent on that.
Okay, then we'll go with Dustin Parker.
I believe we also have a consent on him, ma'am.
It seems they may be having a little bit of trouble hearing us. So she'll be back on in a minute. What is the story on Bronner, Rashad Bronner? What do we have with that?
This is a motion for bond.
And Judge, the state is ready to proceed on that motion, and we're opposing bond in that case as well.
Okay, let's see if we can get connected to the jail. Hello at the Troup County Jail. I think she's gone back to retrieve somebody. She'll be back in a minute.
And Judge, just while we're waiting, it's my understanding, I spoke with Mr. McLaughlin. He is coming in on position number 4. Are we having that hearing today? I believe Mr. Till had a leave of absence, what Mr. McLaughlin told me. I didn't know. I just was going to report to him.
Gerald Harmon.
Yes, Judge, position 4.
Our communication was that we were going to deal with that today, that he's in the COVID unit and we were saving him for last.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure.
That's what we understood.
Okay, Judge, thank you. I will let Mr. McLaughlin know.
Mhm. Okay. Yes, hello at the jail. Who do you have there?
Well, we have everybody but Harmon. I have to go to the CI to get him. So do you not need Parker?
No, I don't. What we need Rashad Bronner.
Okay, and that's the only other one besides Mr. Harmon.
That's right.
All
Yes.
right. Okay, we'll get him.
He's gonna be here. I don't know if you can hear me or not. I think they can. Good morning, Judge Simpson.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I hope you are.
Doing good.
Good.
You're around. So what kind of procedures have you got in your office now, Jackie? What are you having to do now?
Well, we've got our door locked,
Uh-huh.
but we do have the deputies out front screening. And, you know, we are doing the just the one person, you know, to come in, like we just had a notary, and we're
Right.
gonna do that for her. And you know, they're requiring everybody to wear masks
Mhm.
and answer the questions. And Judge Baker had a little in-court session yesterday,
Mhm.
and it worked real good because there were very few people.
Yeah.
You know, the public defenders came in the morning, and then the private attorneys came in at 1:30.
Okay.
But here in the office, we're doing good.
Good.
We're doing real good. Oh, and we are handling a lot of things through phone calls. So
Yeah.
that's working good.
Mhm. And the probate court, is it working by appointment? You know?
Yeah, I believe so. But you know, I don't think well, I know when probates are. I'm not sure about pistol permits. I think maybe they're just taking one at a time.
It was interesting in Carroll County, the clicker for people coming in each month, we averaged 10,000 people per month coming in the courthouse. And in April, we cut that down to somewhere in the range of 350 to 400 people. Wow. Who came in the courthouse for the whole month.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But now we've loosened up. And so for May, it was 1,300 people who came into the courthouse. So it's opened up some, but it's just to some extent, each county has to adjust a bit to what's going on. And
That's true. I believe there are only 10 people allowed, you know, in the courthouse, as
Yeah.
far as, you know, just the citizens, you know, that just have tag business and stuff like that.
mhm.
Judge Simpson, David McLaughlin, it's been a long, long time since I've seen you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Nice to be back in the circuit.
Yeah.
Do you have a new one? Oh, okay. I've done it. Cliff, that is a lovely aqua tie you have on.
Thank you.
Like the color. Like the color.
Cliff is the tie man.
You're still with the AG's office, right?
Judge, I left there in March and joined Herb's office here on April 1st.
I didn't know that. I thought
20
you just might be in here on a special case or something. I didn't know that.
23 years of driving to Atlanta, and Atlanta politics got to be just too much. So
Yeah, okay,
still live in Noonan, but I'm down here in the Troup County office.
okay, good. Good. So, Rashad Browner,
Yes, sir.
can you hear us, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Rhodes.
Your Honor, this is a motion for bond for Mr. Bronner. He has been in jail since February 12th of this year. He's 24 years old. This is a FVA burglary, aggravated assault, and cruelty to children in the third-degree case. He was living in Thomaston prior to his arrest. He had just started working. So I think that any kind of stay-away order would not be a problem. Obviously, it could be a long time before this case could come to trial. And so we're just asking for a reasonable bond to be set.
All right, go ahead for the state.
Yes, Judge, the state is opposing bond in this case, and that's because we're concerned that this defendant, the nature of his crimes, he's a risk of intimidating witnesses and being a danger to the community, Judge. And to give you some facts and the evidence on this case, Your Honor, is that this defendant randomly showed up to the mother of his child's home. When he gets there, he busts through the door, puts a gun to her head, chokes her, and threatens her life in front of their infant child, Judge. This woman had multiple scratches on her body, multiple bruises on her body. And this was all because this defendant had some mistaken belief that she was potentially cheating on him. Your Honor, this is a case that if we're adamantly opposing bond, but if the court is inclined to grant a bond, we're going to have to ask the court to please put an ankle monitor on this defendant, as we believe that he could potentially show back up to this woman's apartment. And if the police are not able to be notified immediately, this situation could be a lot worse, Judge. So we're asking that if the court is inclined to set a bond, in this case, we are asking that the court at least put an ankle monitor on this defendant and require him to stay away from this woman and her child, Judge, as we're afraid for their lives.
All right, we'll set the bond at $100,000 and I'll require an anchor monitor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. So next, we will go to Gerald Harmon.
Yes, sir. I have to go to another facility. I'll need about 15 minutes to get up there and get him set.
Okay, so we're gonna take a 15-minute break and we'll come back.
Do we know if Mr. Teal is around this morning or?
Adriana, have we had any contact with Mr. Teal?
I do not see a leave sent to us. I have not heard from him in response to my Zoom invitation, so I'm waiting to see back if he's gonna respond to an email or I can call him.
Okay, so we'll go off for, I think the jail has gone to try to set that up, haven't they, at this point? So we'll come back in 15 minutes. We'll say it's 9:25 now. So we'll come back at 9:40 and we'll see if we've got Mr. Teal at that point. And Adriana, you'll try to contact him.
Judge Simpson,
Yes.
May I interject just for a second?
Yeah.
I did get a voice message from Mr. Till asking about the hearing still being on the calendar, and I let him know that yes, it was.
Okay.
So I did have some contact with him concerning this hearing.
Okay, well, he'll have to be present at 9:40, or we'll have to continue it until another calendar. So we'll come back at 9:40. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
There's two separate ones. That's the right one.
Yeah.
All property.
Well, it's